Hello, my name is HQ of HQ Reacts. Welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the stream, and click the notification button for new content.
Hello, everybody. Hello. We back at it again. We're just going to be here for a minute. We're just going to be here for a short while. Not a long time, a short time, right? So last night we saw Jimmy come back, right? We saw Jimmy Kimmel come back. And I was like, okay, fine and dandy. Was it a good thing? He didn't apologize. He didn't say anything about apologies. He was unrepentant. But he showed up and he showed out.
Walking out to a thunderous standing ovation overnight, Jimmy Kimmel returning to late night TV after a week off the air.
Thank you. Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted,
Kimmel's show was suspended amid apparent threats from the Trump administration following the host's comments last Monday about the ideology of the alleged shooter in Charlie Kirk's murder. Growing emotional, Kimmel now clarifying his remarks.
I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it, nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual.
Right.
That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make. But I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way.
He also praised Kirk's widow during this past weekend's memorial for her husband.
On Sunday, Erica Kirk forgave the man who shot her husband. She forgave him. That is an example we should follow.
But Kimmel was also back telling jokes, taking a jab at President Trump.
You almost have to feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly.
After the taping of the show, President Trump weighing in overnight, blasting ABC's decision to put Kimmel back on the air, saying his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny? In a statement, Disney said Kimmel's show had been suspended to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. Kimmel shedding light on what happened behind the scenes.
I was not happy when they pulled me off the air on Wednesday. I did not agree with that decision, and I told them that, and we had many conversations. I shared my point of view. They shared theirs. We talked it through, and at the end, even though they didn't have to, they really didn't have to. This is a giant company. We have short attention spans, and I am a tiny part of the Disney Corporation. They welcomed me back on the air, and I thank them for that.
The host also thanked those who came out to support him, including his fans, his fellow late-night hosts, and even voices on the right.
Maybe most of all, I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway. People who I never would have imagined, like Ben Shapiro, Clay Travis, Candace Owens, Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, even my old pal Ted Cruz.
But not everyone was able to watch. Nexstar and Sinclair, media groups that own dozens of local ABC affiliates, are still not broadcasting Jimmy Kimmel live. Kimmel using his opening monologue to defend free speech.
Look, I never imagined I would be in a situation like this. I barely paid attention in school. But one thing I did learn from Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Howard Stern is that a government threat to silence a comedian the president doesn't like is anti-American. That's anti-American.
And Kimmel said,
Right. Right. Freedom of speech. It is what it is. I mean, it's a good feeling to know that freedom of speech, what we did, I mean, it actually worked to bring Jimmy Kimmel back, okay? A lot of people push back on that. Hey. He's funny to a lot of people, P-Man. He's funny to a lot of people. I watched him for the first time last night, so he was funny to me. So I wouldn't watch him regularly, but he was funny last night, right? But it was a lot of people. There's a lot of people who push back on his voice being silenced. Of course, he had to. You think he was in the guidelines of freedom of speech? He was definitely in the guidelines of freedom of speech. Okay, he was definitely. He didn't call anybody a name. He didn't call anybody. Roseanne Barr, you need to go back. You need to go back and read. Okay. Roe called, what's his name, a name. Roe called the lady who worked with Obama a name. Stop it. Stop it. He didn't call anybody a name. Stop it. It's not equivalent. Okay. So I mean, a lot of people pushed back. They wanted him to be silenced. Okay, but that pressure, the pressure that we put on him, pressure Hollywood put on him, got him back on the air. Okay. His return shows that freedom of expression still matters in this country, and the public opinion can make a difference when this kind of thing happens. Okay. The right is sore about it because they wanted him gone. Okay. You're just dumb, bro. You're just dumb. If you're too dumb to understand what I said, please. You're just too dumb. Okay? I just said what she said and what he did, two totally different things. You're just dumb if you don't get it. But for some of it, his commentary hit nerves. They didn't like it. Hey, I can't help it. But he has the right to say it. He didn't say anything bad about him. As a matter of fact, he didn't say nothing about Charlie Kirk. He said it about President Trump. And President Trump didn't like it, okay? The frustration, the right's frustration ain't about the jokes. It's about them thinking, oh, Roseanne Barr got fired, then she should know she called somebody a name. Y'all need to be, come on, start thinking, okay? He didn't call nobody a name. It is not the same. Roseanne Barr's thing is not the same, okay? It's just not the same. I don't understand. It's not about not being able to silence. It's not about being able to silence a voice they dislike. They just don't. That's part of the democracy, though. No one side gets to own the entire national conversation about freedom of speech. Okay, freedom of speech means you don't have to agree with what everybody said, but you can't stop them from saying it just because you don't like it. Y'all didn't like it. He didn't say nothing about Charlie Kirk. He said something about President Trump. That's what got him thrown off the air. Okay, y'all need to go back and listen to that. Okay, the principle protected Kimmel, his right to make the jokes, share his opinion. It also protects the right for people to have critics and to complain about it. But you just don't throw people off the air because you want to throw them off the air because you don't like what they say. Okay. No, Ro, you're the dumb one. It's been on the news all over. How you this dumb? That you didn't hear what the president said. How you just this dumb? I don't get it. Stop being dumb. Read, listen. The president did pressure them to give him a different job, to fire him. That's clear from the response he had today. Jesus, come on, we can't be doing this. I can't just be talking to dumb people who don't read, who don't listen to the news. Okay, he has a right to say what he had to say. Okay. It'd have been a different story if he would have came out and called her a name and did something crazy like that, but he didn't. He didn't call nobody a name. He didn't do anything. He said something about President Trump, okay? He lied about the shooter being MAGA. So what? Your side is saying he's a lefty. I don't understand. Y'all don't even... How does that make him supposed to get fired, Bobby J, NJ? How does that mean that he's supposed to get fired? What are y'all talking about? That don't mean the man's supposed to get fired. Wow. Come on. The right didn't like it. Not at all. We went over to, what's his name? Hannity. Hannity was crashing out. Hannity always crash out. And I keep forgetting. Y'all do know that Hannity is not a news show, right? Let's hope they know that's not a news show. Let's hope they know it's not a news show. Because he's not a news show. Let me see. How we pull up? Wait a minute. Let me look at this. Let me pull this one up right here. We know that's not a news show. I found this guy too.
It's TAKELEAN.com/lemon. The code is lemon for 20% off. All right. Thank you to our sponsors. We appreciate it. Now back to the program. Let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Jimmy Kimmel, as I said, walked out, agree, right? And you could feel the weight and the heaviness. Here he is last night, and then we will go through it and show you the evidence.
I mean, we do agree that Hannity is not a news show. Come on, we know that's not a news show. That's the hateful speech.
Evidence of what I just said before we heard from the.
So everybody's reacting.
The President of the United States.
Okay. Let's listen.
Many administrations, but it wasn't always like this. There was an FCC commissioner back in 2022 who worked under Joe Biden, who was spot on. He wrote, President Biden is right. Political satire is one of the oldest and most important forms of free speech. It challenges those in power while using humor to draw more people into the discussion. That's why people in influential positions have always targeted it for censorship. You know who wrote that? FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr, who later was appointed chairman of the FCC by this former crusader.
Now pause.
You see that the hypocrisy.
Right? This is where I love it, because he is showing the evidence. He's giving the evidence and he's pointing out the hypocrisy here. This isn't about anything that they say it is. This is about appeasing the king.
Yes, that's it.
About protecting the tiny ego. Right. Excuse me, not tiny ego, the fragile ego
of President Trump,
of the child king.
Yes.
More of Jimmy.
And that was the whole point. The whole point was he put pressure on the Brandon Carr wanted to put pressure on the affiliates. Say, hey, y'all better dump Jimmy Kimmel because Jimmy Kimmel said this about the president. So the affiliates said, okay, we just gonna dump. And I'm saying it just very casually. Everybody else can read what happened. Okay, you can read what happened. The whole point was he got pressured into Brendan Carr decided he was going to get Jimmy Kimmel fired. So he pressured all of them into saying the Brendan Carr was appointed by President Trump. Brendan Carr was appointed to him. And Brendan Carr said to all the affiliates, hey, we don't want Jimmy Kimmel on the air no more. So y'all better dump him. And that's what the affiliates did, because he's an appointee of President Trump. So in order to appease President Trump, he put pressure on the affiliates. Had nothing to do with Jimmy's ratings or anything else. Had to do with the fact that he was being pressured by the president. Brendan Carr was, because this is what that president does. This president is petty like that. He targets people. And that's cool, but you can't get it your way every time you want to. Okay? You can't get it the way you want it every time you want it to. So then I was like, okay, cool. There go Don Lemon. So then I went over to that Steven Crowder. I went over to Steven Crowder's show.
Characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as
okay.
Understand cancel culture. It's a shifting of the Overton window, and it's a new coded lexicon that they claim we use, and we don't even know what it is, with an excuse to cancel someone because of opinions you don't like. That is not the same as gleefully reveling in the death of someone who didn't deserve it and trying to socially engineer another generation of psychopaths. There you go. That's it. But for those who missed it, this is why Jimmy Kimmel got people angry. And I want to be really clear. You know what foments violence? Dishonesty. Dishonesty. Because all the misinformation out there, the dishonesty, you call someone a Nazi, you call them a fascist who can't be dealt with at the ballot box. And then when people take you at your word and kill someone based on your descriptors, and then you lie again and say, see, the violence.
But then that's the problem. You MAGAs can't take accountability. I said it yesterday. Y'all can't take accountability for your guys. We can take accountability for our guys that shoot up, our guys that hurt, maim, kill. We can, on the left, we can take accountability for our guys. You guys can't take accountability for the things that you all say and the things your people say. Okay? It's always something different. It's always something different. I'm saying stop all the rhetoric. I'm saying stop all the rhetoric on here, and then maybe some of the violence will tone down. That's what I'm saying. It's never about taking accountability. It's always about my way is right and you guys' way is wrong. And you're not getting anywhere by doing it. We're at the brink of having people getting shot, hurt, maimed, all of those things because people don't know how to tone the stuff down. Okay. Jimmy didn't need to get canceled because he said 1-2 words about the president. He didn't say anything bad about the president. The president is a snowflake. That's his problem. He's a snowflake. Right? And you get upset. Now we have this gentleman called Crowder on here talking about, oh, if you keep calling us fascists, we're going to be violent. No, we keep calling you fascists because that's the behavior that's coming out of your president. Not particularly you all, but your president and this administration.
Even against the right wing is coming from the right wing. Guess what you do? You now justify even more violence at the right wing, who are already the target. Dishonesty is what generates violence, not righteous anger in response to the danger.
No, either one of those paths are wrong. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Just because somebody says something about you and you feel justified enough to come back and say something else, that doesn't mean either one of you guys are right. That means both of you are wrong, left and right. What Crowder is saying is, oh, you call us fascists, and then we get righteous with our anger, and then we get upset, and then we come back at you. No, you're wrong too. You're wrong too. Left is wrong, you're wrong. That's what each side doesn't get. You're both wrong. But I'm saying to you, left, own your shit. Right, own your shit. Own your shit. And when your person comes up here and shoots other people, own your shit. Don't be putting it on the other side. Own your shit. Because from my understanding with this whole thing, conversation, we keep hearing from the administration, the left. No, you guys are not innocent. You people on the right are not innocent. You're making it seem as though, oh, the left was saying this, the left was saying no, you were saying stuff too. Your side is trash too. Your side is trash too. Own your trash. Just like we got to own our trash. Own your trash.
Violent dishonesty. This is what Jimmy Kimmel said. It's flat out wrong. He knew better. We knew better days before. And he has never feared accountability anyway. But now he is. Here's the clip.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
Okay.
Other than one of them, what was outrageous about what he said? The right is trying to characterize this guy as everybody except one of them. And nobody has, and when he said that, nobody had any information as to what side he came from. We still don't know what side he came from. We still don't know that. That's the thing. You still don't know. Yet and still, we got a president in the White House screaming about left, as though the right ain't said nothing. Y'all need to own your shit. I have more respect for you when you own your shit.
Still no word an apology, by the way. A lot of people have been implying, when I think that Joe Walsh, he's going to be on Pierce Morgan with me. Yep. And same thing. We don't know anything. Well, we did. We gave you the motive with the bullet engravings, to be clear.
Steve-O, I'm respectful to you. I didn't call you a name. I don't expect you to call me a name. Don't do it again. Otherwise, you can fuck off out of my chat. I don't call people names, not at all. So don't do it to me. Okay? I'm saying MAGA people, own your shit. Don't say you don't do it on your side, because you do it on your side. Own your shit. That's all I'm saying. The left, own your shit. The right, own your shit. Don't give me, oh, the left do it all the time, or the right do it all the time. No, I don't want to hear it. Own your shit. Own your shit. That's all I'm saying. Own your shit. Stand on it. Don't blame nobody else. Stand on it.
And the media accuses us of being dishonest, of being liars.
Own your shit. Own the fact that you have shooters that go out here and kill people just like the left do. Own your shit that you have people out here stirring up hate. Own your shit. Don't stand here and sit and say that the left does this. Okay? Don't say just the left does this. The right does this too. Own your shit. That's all I'm saying. Own your shit. Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm HQ. Hi.
Keep in mind, the shooter was still out there at that point in time, and so was the Kirk family. So I think the
Regiment, please, I can't do your homework for you. I cannot do the homework for you, Regiment. That's the whole point of not being indoctrinated. Don't believe everything you hear. Do research. Go out there and Google stuff. That AI thing, that chat GP thing is a motherfucker. That Elon Musk Grok is a motherfucker. Go work it out. Go use it. Look up the facts. Don't be asking me. Don't believe shit I got to say. Look the facts up and then come back here and argue about it. But don't argue and you ain't got no facts.
The Antifa engravings and the trans furry engravings are relevant if you're on the menu. You can comment if you disagree. Also, 7-0.
Yeah.
I am no false humility here. This investigative unit is the best that's ever done it, the most consequential that's ever done it, and they've been right every single time. As a result of Jimmy Kimmel being wrong in the face of information that was publicly available, he has been in.
No, there was no information publicly available. No, you show me the report that says, you show me the FBI report that says that he was a lefty. Somebody show me and then I'll completely agree. I'm not saying he was a lefty or righty. Ty Robinson. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is show me the report. Show me something that say he's a lefty. Can't nobody show me nothing that says he's a lefty? I'm not going to believe you. The only evidence I got is that he was from a MAGA family. He was from a Republican family. That's the only evidence we done seen. Okay. I can see what report. The report says he's the lefty. That's what the report says, Dylan, that he's a lefty.
Definitely pulled off the air at ABC. That brings us to something we've been looking forward to for quite a while.
Long time.
Today's Jimmy Kimmel time to close.
Gee.
We hit some new lows over the weekend.
I hope you didn't mean that damn Cash Patel. I hope you didn't mean Cash Patel said he was a lefty. I hope you didn't mean that. B. Penis. I hope not.
With the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
Yes, please put it in the chat.
A lot of them are also just
right
repulsive.
Time to close. Endings and beginnings are ending and beginning now.
It was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Jimmy Kimmel is apologizing after instances of him using the N-word and doing blackface.
What the hell going on up there?
Time to close.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's a lefty. I can accept that if he's a lefty. I can accept that. Okay. Can I accept that he's a lefty? Absolutely. I can own my shit. Can we put it in the chat on an app that famously auto? No, dude, don't start that conspiracy shit, Dylan. I told you to put it in chat. Don't start the conspiracy shit. Put it in the chat.
Uproar conservatives fire Jimmy Kimmel because everybody knows you have something called freedom. You don't like the show? Hit the button. That's what most people, he'll get a spike and then it'll slowly dissipate because he'll go back to being, a Trump.
My email? Okay, hold on.
Oh, of course. And Jimmy Kimmel actually agrees with David Portnoy, believe it or not, on this, Sean, where at least, the 2018 version of Kimmel agrees with him. Here's what Kimmel said in 2018 after Roseanne Barr got fired by ABC.
There we go.
Quote, "You could say what you want, but networks don't have to pay you to say it." That's what he said before he cheered on her firing. So that is an absolute hypocrite that you're seeing on your screen. And last night, as you said, Kimmel just couldn't.
How's he a hypocrite on the screen? I don't understand. How's he a hypocrite? Her network decided that they were going to fire Roseanne. Her network. Wait a minute. Do y'all all are y'all MAGA people get the same talking points? He just was talking about Roseanne. Y'all got the same goddamn talk. Oh, God. Oh, God, y'all don't think for yourself. Stop listening to the TV and do your own research. This man just said, Roseanne, look, are you serious right now? Are y'all running y'all mouth just like the damn newscaster? Jesus. What do you say?
Where at least, well, the 2018 version of Kimmel agrees with him. Here's what Kimmel said in 2018 after Roseanne Barr got fired by ABC.
Roseanne Barr. Do y'all even think for yourselves sometime? What the hell's going on? What happened to Colbert? What happened to Colbert? Did y'all look up what happened to Colbert? Put what happened to Colbert in the damn chat. Stop running your mouth. Put what happened to Colbert in the chat. How did Colbert get fired? How did he get fired? He got fired because the president put pressure on the networks to get him fired. So that cancels Roseanne out. If you want to do the cancellation, if you want to do tit for tat, Roseanne was for Colbert was for Roseanne, and Roseanne was for Colbert. Honestly, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all don't be thinking. None of it is correct. None of it is right. None of it should be happening. Not one thing. HQ calling others ignorant is hilarious. Yes, it is hilarious. That's why I keep saying it. That's why I keep saying it, because it's hilarious. You most of all, Goob. Yes, I'm a propagandist. Everything I've said is a lie. That's crazy. Goob, that's crazy. You could be the dumbest fucking person ever. I could be, but I think your girlfriend is, or your boyfriend.
Quote, you could say what you want, but networks don't have to pay you to say it. That's what he said before he cheered on her firing. So that is an absolute hypocrite that you're seeing on your screen. And last night, as you say, Kimmel just couldn't apologize the right way. Instead, he took the weasel way out by saying, well, if anyone was offended by what I said, I mean, give me a break. And then he lied over and over again. Kimmel claimed that Trump is the reason why Stephen Colbert is going off the air. No, it's because he's losing $40 million a year for his network over at CBS while making $20 million a year himself. I mean, have these people even run a lemonade stand? How hard is this to get from a business perspective? And then Kimmel made himself the victim, saying Trump did the same thing to him.
Do you think Trump trying to sneak in austerity measures? When is he trying to sneak in austerity measures? Only time somebody getting austerity measures is you poor motherfuckers. Only poor motherfuckers is dealing with that austerity. It ain't the rich folks. Y'all just happy to see he giving rich folks money. You ain't concerned about you getting money. You trying to get the rich people money. Why you worried about poor folks now? Why anybody worried about poor folks now? You MAGA, y'all get rich people money.
Which is really odd, because how again was Jimmy back on the air last night if Trump has the power to control the media? So that's a rhetorical question, Sean. And speaking of free speech, again, the hypocrisy is so pure, you could snort it completely. Elizabeth Warren said this in 2021, quote, Trump is a danger to democracy and must be kept off the air. And then she applauded Facebook and Twitter for banning Trump at the time. Here's Elizabeth Warren just yesterday. When someone uses...
Not to mention that Trump was calling her a fat pig. I bet y'all don't remember that. Your president in all his glory, calling her a fat pig. Just amazing. The best president ever.
It's their government position to threaten speech they don't like that undermines the First Amendment and our entire democracy. I can give you dozens of examples from Biden to AOC to Kamala saying...
Where's the examples on your side? Where's the examples on your side? Right-hand guy. See, this is what I mean by MAGA. Don't want to own their shit. You gotta own your shit. If you can pull up examples on the left, you can pull up examples on the right of the hypocrisy. This is what we need. Okay, this is all we need. Don't call left names. Call right and left names.
The same thing and embracing censorship by weaponizing it when it's against their opponents. But now that one of theirs is now suddenly the victim, more of a victim, I guess, than Charlie Kirk, who was executed, then suddenly they do a 180 when it comes to now suddenly embracing free speech. It's an absolute joke.
What?
Well, we've been playing this montage, Jen Psaki and Tim Walz. Let me play it now so our audience can see it. And, you know, now the ones that are lecturing everybody on free speech.
Y'all want to know, y'all want to hear propagandist. This dude right here, Hannity, is the biggest propagandist on TV. The biggest propagandist on TV. Propagandist? What?
You shouldn't be banned from one platform and not others for providing misinformation out there.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
There are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
Look, if people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick and, has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block to the ability to be able to just.
But we have to remember, okay, thank you, Misty Blue. Welcome to the baby roster. Thank you. Thank you very much for the donation. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we have to remember when Jimmy Kimmel was talking, he was talking about, he was talking before he got information, before he got the correct information about the situation. Okay, that was before we got all the information that we did. Someone is supposed to send me something in the chat that tells me that they made a determination that this person was lefty. Okay, so I'm finna look. Hold on.
Hammer it out of existence.
This is a matter of corporate responsibility. Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
The First Amendment is not absolute. It does not protect any single thing anyone says. And there are limits, and that's important.
I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what.
Oh, we'll give you the last word, Joe.
Pain is temporary, film is forever. Wouldn't it be nice to have a media that would play those clips back to those people when they get interviewed on the CNNs and MSNBCs of the world? Boy, that would be nice.
Well, here's the thing. Did we get clear confirmation there? And someone said to me that they got clear evidence that the director of the FBI and X, Y, and Z had clear evidence that it was a lefty, that the boy was a lefty, that Ty Robinson was a lefty. Okay. I couldn't find any credible evidence. I looked at Elon Musk Grok. I typed it in. I went to Elon Musk Grok. I went to ChatGPT, and then I went to The Truth Hurts. I haven't seen one report that says this boy was a lefty. It says I couldn't find all three. I couldn't combination. I have a combination there. I couldn't find any credible public evidence that says Ty Robinson is. Hold on. Wait a minute. I do see something. Hold on. Anyway, let me look it up again. But anyway, that's the whole point. The whole point is, can we find evidence like that? But that's neither here nor there. We have another issue to discuss. The thumbnail, right? The thumbnail, what we had on the thumbnail. And then I'll open up the phone lines or I'll open up whatever so we can hear what people got to say. Wait a minute, hold on. I forgot. I meant to open up the phone lines. Hold on. People want to call in. Google Voice. People want to call in, they can. Because I hate when I open up a phone and then the phone is not ready. I'm going to open up the phone lines and that's it. We have a discussion. Somebody call in. Somebody said, I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm just running my mouth. Of course, I'm just running my mouth. Of course I am. Okay? Here's the thing. I get people's anger. I get people's frustration. I get all that. That feeling pressured to live somebody else's life and faith and all that stuff. You want to put your faith, your religion into every person that you run into. It's exhausting. But you cannot demand that everybody feels and thinks the same way that you do. I cannot go along with your religion. I cannot go along with what you think. This is the issue that I have with the right. This is the primary main issue that I have with the right, is that they want to infringe on my freedom to be the person that I want to be or to be who I am. When people demand that you be the same way that they be or think the same way they think, there's no honest conversation. Okay? And that's a threat to the freedom of speech. Okay? Because it's always a matter of being judged, moralizing, rules that only apply to certain groups. I could tell from the conversation, and I can tell from the funeral of Charlie Kirk the other day. You have a specific group in mind that you're talking about, that you're tolerating, that you're having conversations about. Okay? So I'm going to push back on that. I have to push back on that. Because every person has a right to do their free individual thing. I said earlier that the right, they're homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, and racial. Those are 4 things. If you're one of those people that don't like all 4 of those things, then that's an issue. There's an issue. Transphobic, homophobic, Islamic, racist. It's a different story if you got one, but most of y'all got all 4. There's something wrong with that. Because when a political or religious group tries to make it their moral code the law, when you try to make your moral code the law, which means it would be my moral code because I would have to go along with what you wanted, it's different from trying to persuade me. Now you're trying to push me in the direction of what you think and feel. Convincing somebody is one thing. Using the state and the government to force your belief on me is quite a bit different. That's where freedom of choice dies. Because I keep hearing the Christian right. Oh, you lefties aren't moral. You lefties are demon. You lefties are communist. You lefties are socialist. I'm none of those things. I have never been any of those things. I follow help the homeless, help the poor, help the indigent, all the things that Jesus said. I'm more Christian than you are because you're homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, and racist. Some of you, not all of you. I'm not saying all of you, I'm saying some. But it's very obvious when I got on this internet 2 years ago, that's all I heard you people say. Oh, those trans people, those homosexuals. I still hear that to today. But yet and still, we're so religious. We're so Christian. We're so in faith, belief, God, that you can't see outside yourself to have compassion for other people beyond yourself. So I'm more Christ-like than you. And I'm a liberal. I'm a lefty. I'm a progressive. I'm one of the libertards. Okay? Laws that back up your religious ideas, they target the most vulnerable populations of our society. LGBT, immigrants, people who make choices on their own body. That kind of lawmaking, in effect, says if you don't live how I want you to live, you're less than me. I mean less than you. You mean less than anything going on in society. When you try to force your religion onto me, that's the whole point. When we left, when our country split from England, when our country split from the British, we were fleeing from persecution, religious persecution, and other things. Now you want to force us back into accepting your Christianity, accepting what you believe, instead of letting us believe what we want to believe too. I want to get along with you righties. I want to get along with y'all, but you can't tell me how I'm morally bankrupt, but you ain't. When you can't accept, you can't let other people live their own life. You can't let trans live their own life. You can't let homosexuals live their own life. You can't let the immigrants live their own life. You can't let the black people live their own life. You always got to impose something upon them, like your religion or whatever is better. If you don't live how I want you to live, you're less than I am. That's the message that I speech from that Stephen Miller speech.
From
Black.
At Charlie Kirk's
to accept,
funeral.
press 1. To
That's
send a
I
voicemail,
got.
press 2.
Black.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You back on here, causing trouble, huh?
Yeah. What's happening?
HQ.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I want to tell you.
Right.
I am a 50-plus-year-old black man.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a conservative,
mm-hmm.
that like some far right wing conservative like you would. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as a straight man, HQ,
mm-hmm.
we don't like homosexuality.
Yes, homosexuality. That's one tenet of a bigoted human being. That's one tenet of them.
What do you mean?
I'm not saying if you have one of those, you can see the forest for the tree. But if you have all four of those, you are over there in the weeds somewhere, and you're not Christian.
HQ, we don't like trans. Straight men.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with being a man.
Mm-hmm.
HQ, and you are really failing to see what it says in the Bible about homosexuality.
No,
it says
that's not.
It says what?
It's not that I didn't see it. It's not that I didn't see it.
Okay, so then, then why are you negating it? Then?
Because it's not as important as Jesus's message. What was his message?
No.
No.
The Bible said
what the Bible
eliminate them.
We said
the Bible said take their lives, HQ. That's what the Bible say.
Okay.
The Bible don't say.
But see, you can't do that. So since you can't do that,
you ask.
So
not today.
You can't take their lives, right? Because they're human beings,
right?
Right? Okay.
Not today.
Therefore,
in Africa, not in America. In Africa, you can.
Yeah, but
in other countries, you can.
But not in America. So therefore, you have to you have to skip over that because you can't take nobody's life, and then you have to live by God's word. What is God's word?
It is the law. It is the law of God, and it is the law of man.
You're not listening to what I'm saying to you. I'm saying
I did. You're saying
like America.
You're saying
hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot take somebody's life, right? You cannot take somebody's
You absolutely can.
No.
Yeah.
Without going to jail, without consequences, you can. But you more than likely, most people are not taking people's lives, right?
I'm not going to say no to that. Yes. People take people's lives every day and don't go to jail for it.
Right. Most people
don't go to jail.
Most people are not taking people's lives. So therefore, you can't take gay or homosexual people's lives, right or wrong? Okay. So since you cannot take it, so since the Bible says take their life, but you can't do that, then that's something that you have to negotiate with yourself because you can't do it. So you move on to God's other mission. What was God's other missions? God's other missions.
Are you talking about the 600 laws that are in the Bible? Are you talking about those?
His overall message. His overall message was to feed the hungry, to care for the sick.
That wasn't God's message. That was never God's message
What
in the
was his
Bible.
message then? His message was to
God,
his message was to hate homosexuals. His message was to hate immigrants. His message was to hate trans. That's what his message was.
HQ, did God have the Canaanites killed? Take a walk with me. God told this man, one of his favorite people, to go slaughter an entire group, men, women, children. He told him to go take out all of the animals and the sheep and stuff they had also. And when that man brought back the cattle and the sheep from those other people, God disavowed him. He said, I told you to go do everything. HQ, God wasn't fairy tales and roses and bubbles. That's not what God was.
So God
wasn't.
So God didn't worry about the homeless, the handicapped, the poor, the indigent, the kids. He didn't worry about none of that, right?
No, he wiped out Job's family because he had a shitty deal with a shitty bet with the devil. Go ahead, take everything from Job.
So what was his mission?
Kids, take his wife, take everything, and I bet you he's still gonna be faithful to me.
What was his? What would he want us to do? What is it? You know it. What does he want us to do?
It's just living, HQ. It's
living
part of life.
Living and doing what?
It's just part of life. It's
living,
part of what
living
it
and
is.
doing what, Black America? Living and not caring about the poor? Living and not caring about the indigent, the person, not caring about kids? So God wouldn't want us to do none of that, right? God just say the hell with the rest of y'all, right?
HQ, it didn't have anything to do with caring about anybody. There is no part in the Bible where God said, go take care of us. Jesus is the only person that ever performed any miracles like that. Other people was getting crucified. They were getting thrown in lions' dens and all type of stuff.
Well, God was doing all that?
Bible. Yes, God flooded the earth, HQ. God rained hellfire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah, HQ. And so, why did he do that?
I'm asking you again. What was God's overall general message?
Okay, you know what God's general overall message to me was? If you get out of line, I'm gonna tap that ass. If you do something I don't like, I'm gonna tap that ass.
So how you call
if I feel like
person, if that's how you feel?
No, I'm telling you, it proves it all throughout the Bible.
I've heard it. I've heard a couple things in the chat. Love thy neighbor. Treat those how you want to be treated.
You talking about the Ten Commandments? That was Moses, who also didn't get into the Promised Land. You see what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know. I just see it a different way than you, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong either. I'm saying I'm living my life as close as I can to how I think Jesus would want me to do that, and that would mean caring for people who are poor, feeding the poor, helping the homeless, helping the military, our veterans. Doing all of those things. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm saying this is what I'm talking about. What Jesus' overall mission, what he wanted us to do.
Yeah, but who are you supposed to be following? Are you supposed to be following Jesus or the rules that God set up? Like who, what do you think you're supposed to be doing?
What I'm doing now, caring for the homeless, caring for the poor, caring for the indigent, caring for children, caring for our veterans.
I dig it. I dig it. I like it, HQ. You know, I love it. I just think that you have not a weird way of it. I just think you had the message kind of missed.
But see, here's the thing. Somebody said it in the chat. Hello, Carl, Rob, B, Painus, everybody evenly, but they said it in the chat. I'm saying this is my way of doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I know he wouldn't want me to hate gay people or transphobic people.
Why not? When it clearly says
because it doesn't benefit me. How does it benefit you?
It clearly says it. Wait a minute. It clearly says it in the Bible.
Yeah, but we don't do everything that's in the Bible. But we don't do everything in the Bible. We don't do everything in the Bible. So that doesn't mean
but you're the one that's talking about you're living by the tenets.
I said overall message of what he's talking about. The overall message of what God, of Jesus and God, and their message, what they're talking about. Helping the poor, the indigent, living my life how I want to be treated, X, Y, and Z.
That wasn't the overall message. The overall message was, if you get out of line, I'm going to bust your head to the white meat.
That's not God's message.
that HQ, every 15 verses in the Bible, somebody is getting smoked.
But that don't.
Somebody is getting their ass kicked. So you don't think God has nothing to do with that?
But here's my question then. What is the point of you reading the Bible then, Miss Black America? What are you reading it for? It's just a comic book to you. There's just
it's not a comic book. I'm a Christian too. It's not a comic book. I'm a Christian too. I just follow the laws of the Bible. I follow the laws of the Bible and don't waver on them. I don't interpret them or lean to my own understanding about what it says. If it says I'm not supposed to eat crabs, I'm not eating crabs. It says I'm not supposed to eat pork. Guess what? I don't eat pork. I live by the tenets of the Bible. I do the things that the Bible tell me to do.
I'm saying
I'm not
the things that are.
I'm not a leader in the church.
But I'm telling you the things in the Bible were not supposed to be taken literally that you don't do. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying you're not.
So you can eat pork. Then.
I eat
when
pork.
It clearly says,
I eat pork. What's your point?
No. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But doesn't it say not to eat that type of animal in the Bible?
I don't take every word out of the Bible literally. I'm not a.
Well, then how are you saying you literally are doing the things that are that you're taking away from the Bible? You see the contradiction?
I didn't say I'm doing everything. I said I'm doing the overall message. I've said that from day one. The overall message is to care for my fellow man, to help the poor, to feed the hungry, to help the homeless. Those are the overall messages that I take from the Bible. You can take whatever you want from the Bible. I take those things from the Bible, and I live by those things.
And that's why I said you're cherry picking. You pick the thing. It's kind of like
you're cherry picking
because I'm not cherry picking. HQ, you pick the things just like when it says slaves be faithful to your masters. That's the things that it's a movie called The Book of Eli, and you had this bad man chasing another man because he had a Bible. Because the words are powerful. And you can make the words turn around and sound however you want. You can turn people's minds.
How you live in a secular world, and then you got the nerve to quote the Bible.
What do you mean, HQ? I grew up HQ. My mother is an evangelist. Both of my my grandfather was a pastor and a preacher at one of the biggest churches in LA. HQ, what do you mean? I'm a gangbanger and a drug dealer. I thank God that I'm alive every day.
I'm saying all the sin or whatever you want to call it that you threw out there in the universe, you actually have the nerve to judge other people?
Yes, I can absolutely judge you. Somebody can absolutely judge me. Once again, you're leaning to your own understanding. If you are a drug addict and I'm an alcoholic, I can judge you for being a drug addict and you can judge me for being an alcoholic. Because it's not the same.
Sure. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not the same. So if we're both doing drugs and I'm saying, oh, HQ, you a crackhead, and you be like, dumbass, you a crackhead too. So I can't judge you for that. But that's not what that means.
What does that mean?
What
that mean? You said you live your life literally by the Bible.
Yeah, I'm not a man. I'm not a leader in the church, HQ. So you know what? And what it says in the Bible, it says any leader.
If you lead your life like the Bible, then you would never have ran into doing drugs and all of that. You would never have ran into that. So at some point, you were just a regular, ordinary human being.
What do you mean? What do you mean doing drugs? I've never done drugs a day in my life.
I'm saying whatever activities you had gotten into,
Are you talking about selling drugs? It's no law in the Bible against selling drugs.
Okay.
Hey, if you find a verse, and I have done all the repenting that I needed to do for that anyway, because that wasn't the sin that I had. The sin that I had was not being able to take care and maintain my children at the time. So but it's nothing against selling drugs, and everybody was selling all type of shit in the Bible.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
Wait a minute. Now you telling me it's okay to sell drugs, but you.
I didn't say it is okay. That's not what I said. It's just like when you go and you're hanging out with different Christians and they won't drink, right? You can't drink. You're a Christian. You're not supposed to drink. The Bible says if a man is having a sorrowful day, you give that man some libations to help him through it. That's what it says. It's okay. It's okay to drink.
I'm sorry. The way you interpret the Bible is fine. That's the way you interpret it. I'm saying for me, I have my interpretation of the Bible. You said that's how you interpret it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't interpret it that way. You say you're walking a holy path. Great. But this is my whole point. My point is this. Everybody has different viewpoints all over this country. But the Christian right or Christian nationalists or whatever you want to call it want to impose their thought processes on me. Since I don't think gay people should be stoned, I don't think trans people should be broke off. I don't believe all of that. Then I'm evil. Then I'm another world because I don't believe that.
Now, HQ, I would never say you're evil. I just say you're misinformed and you misguided.
No, I'm not misinformed. I've read the Bible too. I memorized the Bible. I read the Bible. I get the Bible. Right. I just don't. I don't believe in going into slavery. I don't believe in doing. There's plenty of things in the Bible.
It was slavery in the Bible.
Right. So there's plenty of things in the Bible I don't believe in.
Right.
So that I don't do.
And that's right. And that's all I'm saying. If you're going to be eating crab and shellfish, that's something that you do. It's not a problem with me, but it clearly says, it's clearly stated in the Bible that that's one of the animals that are unclean.
We have an argument when we having an argument about what we believe and what we don't believe. That's not the argument.
No.
The argument is you can't impose your thoughts about the Bible onto me, and I can't impose them onto you. That's the whole point of the discussion. And I'm saying to
So the reason
the Catholics of this, the Catholics or the fundamental Catholics or whoever, the Mormons or whatever, want to impose their religion on me. And I'm saying most of us, more than half of the country, does not want that. That's what I'm saying.
So let's get back to why I even called it. It's not more than half.
Yes,
of
it
the
is more
country,
than half. Yes, it is
because-
more than half.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
This is why I'm saying, right? Because as a straight man, and you have other straight men in your chat, they are going to tell you we don't care about homosexuals, but if something happened to them, we're not going to boo-hoo about it. If something happened to a tranny, we're not going to boo-hoo about it.
Right.
So you can't and the platform that the Democrat, they'll never win if they keep harping on this homosexuality.
What do you mean we never win? We've been winning. We just didn't win this election. What do you mean?
I said they will never win if they keep harping on this, because more and more men, we don't have to hide our heads in the sand anymore.
Wait a minute. What was the turning point? What was the turning point? I need to know what the turning point was. All this rhetoric online, this Charlie Kirk thing. What was the turning point? The red pill stuff.
The turning point. Well, you gotta let me speak about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The turning point was our president Obama, who I love. I don't have a problem with Obama, right? But wanting men that dress up like women to go in bathrooms. Us men that have daughters, HQ, recipe for disaster, HQ. That is a turning point for us. That right there, all by itself, is a huge turning point. Men playing in women's sports. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Men playing in women's sports. Men going in women's bathrooms. Anything that these people, we feel like as we feel like that is a huge overstepping of the boundaries. And we are, for you guys' safety, for your protection, HQ, we are not putting up with that shit. So no, we're not doing it.
So
that is the turning point.
So when did the turning point happen? When did this happen?
When they start allowing. No,
I meant, when did it happen? It started under Obama? When did it start?
Yes, because Obama started giving the LGBT whatever. He started giving them a rights and bathrooms and all of this. Us men.
And so men started to feel like, oh, they're taking away my right as a man. They're infringing on that. So now I got to bring it out of there.
No, HQ, it doesn't have anything to do with that. This is what it has to do with. You're my wife and a tranny, and you're in the bathroom, and a tranny goes into the bathroom. I can't trust.
So here's my question: how does that? Well, see,
my wife.
Okay, I'm testing the boundaries. I'm testing the boundaries of where you got this philosophy, where you got all of this.
What do you mean? Ask any man. You know what? I'm gonna drop down. Yeah. Maybe somebody else wants to come up, and they will explain it to you. No man.
Yeah, but
this
is my last question. This is my last thing. What does that have to do with? What do you know? Wait a minute. Hold on. You said no Democrats. Okay, so what does the Democrats believe in?
What do you mean?
You said you're telling me the only thing Democrats believe in is the trans and the homosexual people.
No, what we're saying is
hold on right there. What does the Democrats believe in then? Because you're saying somebody believing in the trans and the homosexual, that's the all-encompassing of a Democrat. Democrat don't have no other platform except dealing with the gays and trans. So that would turn you away from the Democrats because they believe in the homosexuals and the trans. Because otherwise, if you knew what the rest of their platform was about, and the trans homosexual,
I rock with I rock with the Democrats. I rock with the Democrats. But that right there, HQ, is a complete all stop. that one issue,
people
that
not
one issue,
yeah,
that one issue.
Mm-hmm.
If I had an uncle that was a pedophile, he would disappear. He couldn't be around my kids. He couldn't be around the family. He could be the greatest cook and everything and loving and joyful. But if he was a pedophile, that one issue, HQ, for me as a man and for the rest of the men in my family, he would no longer be able to come around. For men, it takes just one thing. And that one thing for us, once again, there'll be no man going into the bathroom with my baby or Ty Pro's baby. If I'm there and Ty Pro got his daughter and I see a tranny go into the bathroom after her, what do you think's going to happen? That's my brother. It doesn't matter. That one thing prevents all straight and cognitively thinking men to say, you know what, I can't vote for the Democrats because this is what they're voting for.
On top of the fact that you didn't want to vote for a black female, I get all of that. I'm just.
I would have voted for. I would have voted for Hillary. I would have. Listen, this last election is the first election that I have got my rights back in since the 90s. Right. I couldn't pull myself to vote for either one. And as far as president, I can't vote for Kamala. For one, she's not black. Then she done locked a whole bunch of black people up. And then she's a damn Indian. Black Americans, for the most part, hate those red dot Indians. Like, you think that white people are the only one racist. HQ, all of our neighborhoods are full of these brown people that own the corner stores, and they not black people. We don't get along with them, HQ. But you don't see it because you're in a different.
I just don't concern myself about gays and trans because they don't affect.
Right.
I'm not gay or trans.
Right.
Because
you're a woman. Because you're a woman, and your whole goal in life is not thinking about protection. As a man, as a husband, as a father, as a grandfather, all I think about is protecting my wife, my kids, and my grandkids. That's it. That's all I want to do. I'd be telling my daughters, hurry it up and get married so I can die. After all y'all are married, I can pass on safely and know that somebody's taking care of you because I've done my job. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, HQ. My whole goal, and like I said, you can ask a different man a different question, but it's gonna start coming out to be the same. We will not vote in mass. Look at Pete Buttigieg.
No, hold on. You say it's black people. It's not a matter of black people. When you're racist, you think you're better than another race. That's when you're racist. Black people may be bigoted, but they're not racist.
Okay, well, all right. So bigot. We don't. But if you have an extreme hatred or don't like something, that's still racist, HQ.
It's bigotry. It's bigotry in our home. It's bigotry.
Okay, so all right. So it's being bigoted. So black people are very bigoted. Black people are bigoted against those Indian, red dot Indians. We don't like them. It's lots of black people that don't like a lot of different people.
Why don't we like the Indian? Why we don't like Indians?
Because especially as a truck driver, we just don't get along with them, HQ. We don't like I said, you're from a different, for one thing, you live in a different place, right? Do you even have corner stores that are owned by Indians and Hindus where you're at?
Yes.
And so you have a corner store that's owned by a Hindu Indian in your neighborhood.
Yeah, and right around my neighborhood, yes. They actually do my eyelashes. They do my eyelashes
Right.
every day.
Right. So when we grow up in neighborhoods like that, as Black people, the men, it doesn't have anything to do. You can't see this from a man's lens, HQ. And that's all it is. Just as a man, we just don't get along with it. We don't. As a Black man in America,
the Indian people though,
we just don't like them. You got people that you just don't like.
Why you don't like
them? We don't like how they talk to us when you go to the store and shit like that. Like it's a long history of shit. It's like Black Americans versus Jamaicans or Black Americans versus Africans. You know how the Africans would come over here and they'll tell all of their daughters, oh, well, you can't talk to him because he's a Black American. Like these things happen to HQ, and these things have been going on a long time. It's just you're not privy to them because you got off the dating market when you was 23, 24, and you haven't had to deal with any of this because of men of every color try to talk to you. When us men, we are trying to talk to women. It's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, it's a huge difference.
I had to think on this. Which one is better? Prejudice?
Yeah. You say you got to think on it. Like I say, if you feel, hey, you can ask Ty Pro or you can ask some of the other brothers in the chat. They'll tell you it's not like it's a super bad tension, but we not cool. They not coming to the barbecue or no shit like that.
I mean, I don't know which one is bad or worse. James asked, which one is better, prejudice or bigotry? Well, racism is that you think you're better than another race. Prejudice means you have unfair attitudes and unfair beliefs about a different person is a person that's different from you. You just have unfair and unrealistic things about this person. That's the difference, right? Racist means they ain't never gonna be equal to you. You always think they're inferior to you. They can never come up to your speed. That's way different from somebody having a different idea about what you are. That's all you got to do is get in touch with another person and deal with another person, and you'll find out that maybe these things about them ain't true. But when you're racist,
no, it doesn't matter. You cannot like people on the other side, HQ.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just telling you the difference between what a bigoted person and a racial person. A racist person thinks they're better than you are. And see, that's why I have a problem with the Black MAGA people, because the Black MAGA people keep falling into that trap of the DEI, because the DEI is born out of racial profiling, or where white people think they're smarter than Black or better than Black people, so therefore DEI is a joke. That's the problem I have with Black MAGA, and that's simply
so my friends that I have and been known, like my brother-in-law, right? He's a Black MAGA. He's straight Black MAGA. He's QAnon. He's all of the things, Trump.
So do I.
He's all of that, in love with Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what it is because they're in a different tax bracket. You know what I mean? If they
in a different tax bracket, I don't understand. Tax bracket don't mean jack shit when you Black and they don't like your Black ass.
Well, let's do it like this. Both of my brother-in-laws, one got a Mexican wife and one got a white wife, and they both make well into the six figures. One's an engineer.
Hold on, Black America. This is the dumb statement, Christopher. Oh no, I'm sorry, Jay Croggins. They are smarter. It's a fact. It's not a fact. Charlie Kirk even said it. Your infamous Charlie Kirk even said it. He actually went off on somebody when somebody said it. Look at the facts. Just because
who's smart?
Huh?
Who's smart?
No, Jay Krog said that somebody's smarter than somebody else. And I'm saying Charlie Kirk, there's a video of him saying this couple times that no race is smarter than the other race. So stop it. Okay. My whole point is the other race thinks they're better than the other race. That's racism, not the facts. We're talking about they think they're better, not that they are better. They think they're better. Even if I'm better than the chick down the street, I would never say it out loud or act on it. People who are act on it.
That's you. You won't do it. But if somebody thinks they're better than you, HQ, they're going to admit an attitude or
my point
about
exactly. That's the whole point. The whole point is that you're not no better than nobody. You're no better than no person. Human is better than any person. That's what I'm saying.
Come on,
you're not better than
that's
any
not
person.
true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true.
As a human
that's why
being,
we have.
As a human being, you may have things that are better done than I do. You may have more money than I do, but that don't make you a better person than me. How does that make you better than me? Because you got more money than me.
Well, that's why they have different marks and names for people, like a king or a bum or poor. The poor don't matter as much as the middle class and things like that. And I know to you they do, because you view them all as people. But no, they don't.
It's human. There are some white people that have the mindset of them.
It'll be
white people. One of my best friends is why I don't have no racist thought. I don't have those kind of thoughts. Okay, I have my slight.
You know why? You know why, HQ? You know why? Because you never have to protect anything, HQ. You never had to think about protecting anything. Have you ever been in a fight and actually feared for your life that someone was going to die or you was going to have to kill somebody?
No.
Most men, and I'm saying, and 65, 70% of men have. You don't know anything about violence. It has to do with protection and violence, HQ. And that, unfortunately, is a man thing.
Well, I get the man thing. I get all of that. I'm saying to you, we're talking in terms of how people are the racial stereotype, and we're talking about people who have bigoted attitudes. I'm saying these things are born out of miscommunications, unreasonable expectations about people. We get all of it. Asians are smarter. They could be smart. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm just saying the person who is smarter and a person who acts smarter are two totally different animals. You can be smarter, but you don't have to lord over me, because people don't like that. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that.
Are you supposed to give your kids direction when they're young, HQ?
When they're young?
Yeah. You know why? Because you're smarter than they are.
Yes, I also have more worldly experience than they do.
Right. And you have to lord over them because they're ignorant.
Because I have more
experience
than them.
Yes, exactly. So there are people that are walking. There are people that are walking around this world that don't know nothing about anything, and you're going to have to lord over them. It's like the dog and the fly.
Rainbow, I did that. Black America dragged me down this hole.
Well, I'm gonna say this and jump off. It's like the dog and the fly. Yes, they're both living things.
Right.
They're both creatures that God made.
Yes.
But nobody is going to get mad if you kill a fly. The whole world, they got a whole group. PETA will be picketing your house and everything if you kill a dog. When we was young, we used to go to the park and watch dog fights on Sunday as a whole family, all of us. You can't do shit like that no more. And that's what I'm saying. A dog versus a fly, but nobody cares if you kill a fly, though. You see what I mean? If you yell at a dog, it's gonna be somebody come out and fucking giving you a ticket for that. But all right, I'm dropping back down. Maybe somebody else got some information for you.
Oh no, they all right. You're all right. You're all right.
All right.
Thank you. Black America. No, you drag me down in these conversations. But I'm talking in terms of, and that's a good conversation, but I'm talking in terms of this, racism and Christianity and all of that wrapped in religious language, in particular, toxic language, right? Because it pretends to be moral. It pretends to be moral while protecting these old prejudices. That's the problem that I have with it, right? Saying we're just following God, we're just following Jesus. It doesn't cancel the harm. This, I think, is a part of what people had a problem with Charlie is. It doesn't cancel the real harm of prejudice. It often makes it harder to challenge. Okay, these systems and all of our institutions. When you start with why did they take DEI out of the buildings, out of the government, out of all of that? Why did they do all that? Okay, because this is an excuse for the racist behavior. You never listen to anything Charlie said. Oh, I listen to Charlie just fine. I've seen Charlie debate. I've seen those things for the last two weeks. I've seen him debate and I've seen him talking all of that. Okay, I've seen all of that. None of that stuff. People keep saying, "Well, we didn't listen to Charlie and we didn't hear context, and we need context and all this, that, and the third." Okay, we heard the context. We heard what Charlie said in his own words. We even did a video earlier today in the words of Charlie. In the words of Charlie. And there's nothing wrong with what Charlie thought or did think or wanted to think. That was all on him. And I'm not angry with him at all. I just don't think he liked me very much. That's all. It had nothing to do with anything else. I just didn't think he liked me all that much. And that's fine, because not every human being has to like every human being. And not every human being has to follow the tenets of Christianity. Okay? That's the tenets of Christianity. They took DEI and affirmative action all out of the systems and everything else. Right? This is the whole point. This is how, and now everything is just equal. It's just supposedly equal. Let's see how equal it can be. This is how discrimination becomes structural, with fewer opportunities for people, because DEI is not in place. Harsher punishments, get condemned in the public eye. Did you see the video of Charlie talking to the black girl and her baby and the look on his face? That man did not hate you. See, Jay Croggs. See, I can only relate to what he said about me. I can only relate. I'm not a single mother, and never, I'm not any of those things, right? I'm one of the people that were like Michelle Obama or Miss Crockett or Joy Reid. I relate more to them than I do. Not as smart, of course not. Charlie said, "Oh, you all were X, Y, and Z." Okay, you were X, Y, and Z. He said this about the black women. There's no context for that. What he said after he said that statement was how he really felt after he said that statement. Not the statement that he said about Joy Reid and Michelle Obama. Not that. It was the sentence that he had after that. That told me what he wanted to say, what he really wanted to say. Okay? That really told me that he didn't like me. So I didn't know him, so I had no reason to go over there to like him, to do any of those kind of things, right? Okay? I don't know how we get to this point. See, the thing is, I don't know what he was. I don't care what he was. I don't care what he was. He was a savior to some people. He was a villain to other people. And that's the way it's going to stay. And the whole point is he had extreme ideas. He had extreme ideas, according to some. So when a political leader, a talker, a podcaster, whatever, amplifies those ideas, those exclusionary ideas. It magnifies the harm that happens to the community. Okay? This government seems to want that, seems to like that, seems to champion that. Okay? I said to myself, okay, I got to listen to see how this administration move. All of this circus that they had going around for Charlie, it was a circus. It is a circus. Charlie was no more or no less than any other human being. He was a minister who ran a podcast, who went around and had debates with young minds who had not developed their thought processes. That's what he did. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But the whole point was, not all of these people liked what he had to say. If I would have listened to some of the things he said, I listened to that clip about him saying I would force my daughter to have a child if she was raped. He was a douchebag for saying that. Right? He was a douchebag for saying that. I can say that. I can feel how I want to feel about that. You're a douchebag if you said that. If you really felt like that. You would force your child to have a rapist baby. You're a douchebag. That alone would be an issue for me with Charlie Kirk. Okay? But on top of the other things that he said, that puts him on the wrong category, on the wrong side of history for me. So Charlie was what he was. He was a minister. To me, he was a minister who went to colleges, and he had debates with unseasoned minds. And he had an agenda. Had anybody ever thought that maybe Charlie was doing this for money? You keep saying he's not racist. If he wasn't racist, then he must have been doing this for money. Okay? I think about that because I've heard that 3 times already. I've heard people say Charlie was a grifter. He did this for money. Did he do it for money? I don't know. If he's not a rapist, he's not a grifter. He's not a person that takes advantage of money to promote the message that you want him to promote. If he's not that type person, then he's a racist. He's not going to be one or the other. I heard people say he's a racist. I heard that he took money to say this message. Okay. I don't know. I can't really tell because I don't know Charlie that well in order to have that thought about him. I don't know him well enough to find out or to figure out whether he was a grifter or not. Okay. I know people were upset about his message. And there's nothing wrong with his message. He can preach what he wants to preach. Okay? He can preach what he wants to preach. All I'm saying is this administration and a lot of people on the right want to force that religion down our throat. And we can't do that. We cannot think how you want us to think. Okay? We can't do that. Earlier we got into reproductive freedoms. Right. Okay. About carrying a pregnancy when we're 10 years old, our father making us carry the pregnancy. Nobody, when that's put to the test, believes what Charlie Kirk said. Nobody believes that. That's why I kind of thought he was drifting or grifting, because nobody believed that what he said. If you believed he meant it, then you're the person that has the issue. No man worth his salt is going to let his child go through that. No man. So I have to think as time goes on, and I'm looking at some of the things that he has done, some of the debates that he has done. Is he actually telling the truth? Is he grifting? I can't really tell. I don't know. I can't really tell. But I'm hoping that's not the case. You know, I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping he was who he was to the people that he wanted to be. But you have to allow the fact that he wasn't the person that I wanted him to be. Or I felt like what he felt like was not what I needed him to be or wanted him to be. But this is about Charlie, you know, and we're going to have the fallout for weeks to come. But you can't to make a martyr of somebody that wasn't a martyr in life, because we just don't see it. We don't see it. We see human beings. That's all we see is a human being. Thank you to Healism $4.99 for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Misty Blue, new member. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You all, please hit the like button. Like button in and out, please. And thank you, in and out. This was our short show. This was a very short show. The only thing we had to do was talk about Jimmy Kimmel and how he came back. And then we got drugged down the rabbit hole with Black America. But it's okay. No, I'm not reading a different live stream. So I appreciate you all coming back at 10 o'clock. Please hit the like button going out the door. I'll be back tomorrow at 10. I'm not coming earlier than 10. Yeah, religious rabbit hole. I'm not coming earlier than 10. Am I a grifter? Who, you, Triple? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Okay, 10 p.m. Because there's always shit that's going on. Okay? There's always shit going on. And I appreciate y'all coming. Please hit the like button. You came into my house. You came and rubbed your feet on my rug. Hit the like button. Everybody know what this is. Hit the like button. Please and thank you.